Hey, Altillion here. I just wanted to make a quick video today talking about the balancing of games, and specifically when we balance games around meta. I've seen a lot of content today, specifically continued about the HP inflation within HSR, and some of the content kind of that persists around that space. And I just wanted to give some thoughts around um, some of the reasons why I think they're doing this and why I think that that's overall kind of a bad idea. So, first off, why I think balancing the average gaming experience around the meta and or higher end competitive games or gamers is a bad decision. A common theme within live service games is a rebalancing of the end game content kind of around the high end performing player base. We've seen this a lot in other live service games such as World of Warcraft, Diablo, etc. Developers are really easy to overreact to the performance of top performing teams and or players. Sometimes we'll see that in even MOBA spaces as well. We see formats and or builds that kind of break the game in certain ways and really exploit kind of the manipulative abilities of the game. Also, just to summarize, games are kind of overall just a math problem waiting to be solved, and in some really clever ways we're able to kind of really just take advantage of those. So we see some of those formats, and then or see some of those formats and or builds that will eventually break the game, and then they're really quick to react to that because players execute something beyond kind of their original expectations when they balance the game. Why is this a problem? This is a problem because these expectations are noteworthy and stand out. They're not the expectation of most players' experiences and what they see day to day. So when you adjust the top end player base, it's multiplicative, impacting downwards to the players that are considered more of your average player base. How does this pertain to HSR in particular? How this impacts HSR, in my opinion, is we're seeing a massive increase in HP over the last kind of 1/3 of the 2x patch cycle. To me, this is a direct counter to seeing average clear cycles in the low threes and seeing countless zero cycles from basically anyone with an above average level of knowledge slash investment into the game. This is likely an unintended consequence of balancing issues from new powerful character releases, increasingly powerful E1s or E2 synergies, light cone synergies, and team strategies. When you're consistently and constantly adding two premium characters into the game, all of them have eidolons that are powerful to help encourage players to pull for them, and then there are light cones as well. The amount of connecting options that can impact the game and damage done slash thresholds that can be met that allow for broken game mechanics multiply almost with every release, making balance a nightmare. This has allowed a much wider access into the higher end player base that's clearing content so quickly. They've begun to add restrictions to themselves to create more difficult challenges. A great example of this, a bit of a hyperbolic one, but I think a good one, would be the Pokemon community and the Nuzlocke challenge community. Um, the hyperbolic example would be the Pokemon company attempting to balance their next game based on the results of the Nuzlocke communities. Yes, the information is readily available. Yes, people have been playing Pokemon for decades, thus making these hardcore challenge modes created by their community members easier to access than ever. But most players don't even know that they exist. Balancing a game around this does nothing but hurt over 95, if not more, percent of your player base while trying to impact 5% of your player base. Why I see this as a negative. Overall, I feel this is a negative thing to do because it hurts the player's fun experience in the short term and long term. Games are meant to be played for fun. When you remove the element of fun from the player experience, it's always going to be a negative. Existing players have previous expectations based on former content, and suddenly they're going to be hit with a brick wall of difficulty. This massively disincentivizes the player and overall removes their fun factor that they were playing the game for previously. Any new player may not have an expectation to lean on, but you're limiting your new player base to essentially only end up at an end game perspective to only be people who would have ended up in those challenge communities anyways. However, you're likely going to lose some of those more hardcore community members before they ever make it there based on the massive difficulty spike. I cannot think of any positive elements that can happen from rebalancing your game around the most hardcore of your community. It's limiting the content to such a small percentage of players that you're ignoring the bulk of your player base. You're literally and facetiously not seeing the forest through the trees. But those are just my thoughts. Again, just wanted to make a really, really quick video here on some of the things that I'm seeing and why I think this is a dangerous path to travel. Remember, games are a conversation. Feel free to add your thoughts in the comments below. I love engaging these types of conversations, so feel free to let your opinion be known. But that'll do it. My name's Tillian. I'm a new content creator in the space, just trying to get my voice out there. I really like talking about the perception of games and how these mediums impact us. If you like this video, please feel free to subscribe or share it. It means the world to me. If you want to argue with me, feel free to find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/TillianPlay. I like to stream every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Tillian out.